This evening, the EU has donated billions to fix the sugar industry over the past decade. Where did it go? President urges members of the diaspora to invest in Guyana. WPA makes more of its grievances with the coalition known. Ministry of Social Protection steps up its efforts to combat human trafficking. In the region, in Trinidad and Tobago, soca artiste Destra was sued by one man after a dance move landed him in the hospital. And internationally, widespread flooding in southern China causes billions in damage.
From Safe TV headquarters in South Roosevelt Gardens, this is Safe TV Headline News with George Gonzalez.
Headline News is now being streamed live on our YouTube channel. Join us. Ahead of this week's CARICOM Head of Government meeting in Grenada, President Granger urged members of the diaspora throughout the Caribbean community to invest in Guyana. Esther Sobers has more. Thanks, Esther. The Guyana Sugar Corporation is in tatters, and recent revelations from the European Union show that billions of dollars in grants were given to successive Guyana governments to help restructure the ailing sugar industry. However, the story of sugar's decline seems to be cast in a mold that excludes the infusion of the EU's billions. Reporter Wendell Jeffrey has been poking around and brings us this report.
It is now settled that the European Union gave the Guyana government $34.85 billion and not $384.5 billion, as they had previously stated. That amount was assigned to Guyana to help the sugar industry beginning in 2006. However, when President Donald Ramotar prorogued the parliament to stave off a no-confidence motion against him in 2014, the EU said that they withheld the final tranche of that grant. In 2016, shortly after the new government was installed, the EU released 24.4 million euros into the treasury of Guyana. However, addressing the audience at the recently held Enmore Martyrs Memorial, Minister Felix, speaking on the behalf of the government, said this.
In 2015, just after the general elections, the new government was forced to urgently inject a whopping $12 billion into Exufo to stave off a closure of production operations. The company said it had no money to operate. Another crisis in 2016 saw another injection of $11 billion, with $9 billion in 2017.
No mention was made of the millions of euros that were given for sugar reconstruction by the European Union. Neither the PPP nor the coalition governments have fully accounted for the billions of dollars given to Guyana to aid the failing sugar industry. Headline News contacted both the Ministry of Finance and the Ministry of Agriculture to get an idea of where those monies would have gone and how they would have been spent. Up to press time, we were unable to get anyone who would answer our question. George, this government has since presented a white paper on sugar, which outlines a path to the reconstruction and revamping of the Sugar Cooperation. How much of the EU monies will be used to sweeten that process is yet to be disclosed. Reporting for Channel 2 Headline News, I am Wendell Jeffrey.
Thanks, Wendell. Minister Simona Brooms has some words for those who think ill of her living arrangements. Esther Sobers has more on the issue.
During a recent press conference, Minister Brooms broke her silence about the controversial rental of the $500,000 apartment.
I avail myself for people and the people of the country. Concerning a house or government rent a house, government got to find a place to put me in, right? Government brought me from my home, not a house. I don't live in a house, right? I come from a home. right, where I have my family and my sacrifice and my commitment to my people. I'm happy to have the support of my family and many of you here, because it's not a walk in the park. It's not a government that is standing up against corruption and to fight corruption. I don't want nobody build no house and give me as a gift. We know in the past you will get a whole house in the name of a gift. I am not in none of the supermarket. I'm not up for sale. I have been listening and reading the rumors because I do look at them. They have not touched me. I don't have anything in my closet. I am that ordinary woman, Simona Brooms. I will maintain that. I just ask God every day to keep my heart in the right place. Right? He bring me here to serve the people. I'm a humble servant.
I'm Esther Sobers reporting for Channel 2 Headline News.
Thanks, Esther. Don't go away. Coming up on Headline News after the break. WPA airs its grievances. And Ministry of Social Protection raises awareness around a serious issue.
Sometimes there's just too much information to keep up with when you're pregnant. What you should and should not eat, what kind of exercise is right for you, how to handle mood changes, even how to determine when it's time for delivery.
Don't let your pregnancy be a burden. Watch The Baby Story on Safe TV Channel 2 every weekday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Now you can know all you need to know from conception to delivery when you watch The Baby Story on Safe TV Channel 2.
Styles, simply different.
The founder and senior pastor, Prophet Wade Ridley of Restoration and Life Ministry Church, in collaboration with the Ministry of Public Health, presents a health fair on Saturday, 8th July 2017 at the Restoration and Life Ministry Church, located on Caneview Avenue, South Rheinveld Gardens, between David Rose and Greenheart Streets. Come and access free testing for blood sugar, blood pressure, HIV, VIA, and blood group. Also, dental services, mental health awareness, TB sensitization, and family planning. Lots of side attractions for the children. Starts at 9 a.m. and ends at 3 p.m. Admission free.
Need a ride around town and beyond? Look no further than Oasis Ride Taxi Service. With affordable prices and some of the best drivers in the business, we've been delivering prompt and reliable service to Guyana for over 16 years. We also offer tours, chauffeur service, and even car rentals. You can call us at 231-5554 or 225-5496. For deals, specials, and more information, find our page on Facebook. Oasis Ride Taxi Service. Let's go.
Seems like people will try just about anything to lose weight these days. But nothing works better than proper dieting and exercise. So if you're guilty of eating the wrong foods, not finding time to exercise, or can't afford a gym, join Safe TV Channel 2 for Body and Spirit. Aerobics workout with Dick Nunez.
Hello, I'm Dick Nunez. Welcome to Body and Spirit Aerobics.
Weekday mornings from 7 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. Don't hesitate. Act now, because your greatest wealth is your health.
If the Granger administration thought they would have an easy ride from their coalition partners as they plan for the 2020 elections, they have to think again. The WPA says that they need to reassess their engagement as a coalition partner, and they will begin by making their grievances known publicly. Their intention is to have a greater say in how this country is governed. Wendell Jeffrey was there and shares with us some of their views.
The fight between the rank-and-file members of the coalition government is becoming public and testy, and it is not going to abate soon not if the WPA's executive member have anything to do with it. At their recently called press conference, the question was asked as to why the WPA is engaging in this public kind of aggression towards the coalition to which they belong. Executive member Takuma Ogunse said that the public display of admonishment and scoldings is very deliberate.
We are convinced that if anything tangible is to come out of those talks, the WPA have to be very frank, not only in the private discourse but in the public domain.
Ogunse said that if the government takes offense to that approach, they are the ones who will be acting petty.
And we believe that whether or not the other side in the discourse is offended by that, for us, it is it's not a big problem for us. We politically, we are doing the correct thing, and they will be petty, to respond the way you're anticipating they may respond.
Dr. David Hines fully supported what Mr. Ogunse said, adding this.
It's a matter of political culture and political identity. The WPA comes out of a different political culture from other political parties. And part of our political culture and our political identity is that outside of matters of national security, we do not believe that the business of government is private.
The professor went on to establish another of the differences between the WPA and the previous and successive governments.
Democratic process. And the WPA wishes to bring back to this country a public discourse about government. That is, that government is not the preserve of just the rulers. Government is of the people and should be about the people's business, and the people should be involved in what is going on. So we have no fear about those who criticize us and say, we're bringing what they call bringing party business outside. We don't belong to some party called the APNU. The APNU is a partnership that includes individual parties. And when we signed the APNU charter, we did not put in that agreement that the WPA will give up its right to be an independent voice.
The outspoken executive member noted that the WPA was only silent over the last 2 years as a matter of compromise, but that the proverbial gloves are now off.
We compromised in the last 2 years in the interest of bringing about some kind of consensus on the way forward. Because, we don't want others to impose themselves on us, and we don't want to impose ourselves on others. And so we, in a sense, muted our voice and compromised in the last 2 years. We are now signaling to the country that we are no longer pursuing that course of action, and we're going to be very...
Reporting for Channel 2 Headline News, I am Wendell Jeffrey.
Thanks, Wendell. The Ministry of Social Protection's fight against trafficking in persons is now in overdrive. In an effort to raise public awareness of this serious crime, the ministry recently set up a booth in Stabroek Market. Esther Sobers was there and filed this report.
The Ministry of Social Protection Counter Trafficking in Persons Unit held its sensitization fair last Friday at Stabroek Market. The unit, in working to raise awareness of human trafficking under the theme June Blue Craze. The fair, which aimed to educate general public about the various forms of human trafficking, was well received by patrons. Visitors to the booth were given educational materials, won various prizes, and was able to report any form of human trafficking related incident. It was disclosed that many persons may be victims of human trafficking without knowing. A typical example of this trend among young people is called boyfriending. Look out, speak up, and take down. Stop human trafficking now. To report suspected cases of trafficking in persons, call the Ministry of Social Protection on 227-4083. Reporting for Channel 2 Headline News, I'm Esther Sobers.
Thanks, Esther. Over the weekend, it was a spiritually high night of prayer and praise as the performers gave their best during a gospel concert at the National Cultural Center. Our roving reporter Wendell Jeffrey has more.
The National Cultural Center came alive on Sunday night for what was billed as a gospel extravaganza. The atmosphere was charged with melodious singing, meticulous drama, and memorable poetry. The lineup included Sean English and Earl Bishop. The soulful singer Ian George was also there.
Falling in love with Jesus, it's the best thing I ever done.
The Sunday school dancers performed delightfully.
So I know the feeling, the silence is deafening.
Enid Benjamin did a piece from her newly launched album.
Success, here I am, I say blessings, here I am, I say favor.
But it was Syku Williams, fresh off his album launch, who stole the show as he belted out hit after hit, the audience singing right along with him.
Listen. Me mama said, Syku, me no hungry. And if you plan to get it by the gun, she said, me boy, son, right now me no want it. Nobody said, nobody daughter, son. The things them man with son, them in a junkie. She say, you are do the wrong things. But I'm praying, you're not there yet. But I'm believing, she know God called me. The devil deceived me. She want him kill me. She said, Jesus save me.
Several pastors, spiritual leaders, politicians, and other public figures were in attendance. George, it was a high night of praise for those who attended and performed at the National Cultural Center last Sunday night. To God be the glory. Reporting for Channel 2 Headline News, I'm Wendell Jeffrey.
Thanks, Wendell. Don't go away. Still ahead, we have our regional and international news.
Sometimes there's just too much information to keep up with when you're pregnant. What you should and should not eat, what kind of exercise is right for you, how to handle mood changes, even how to determine when it's time for delivery.
Don't let your pregnancy be a burden. Watch The Baby Story on Safe TV Channel 2 every weekday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Now you can know all you need to know from conception to delivery when you watch The Baby Story on Safe TV Channel 2.
Need a ride around town and beyond? Look no further than Oasis Ride Taxi Service. With affordable prices and some of the best drivers in the business, we've been delivering prompt and reliable service to Guyana for over 16 years. We also offer tours, chauffeur service, and even car rentals. You can call us at 231-5554 or 225-5496. For deals, specials, and more information, find our page on Facebook, Oasis Ride Taxi Service. Let's go.
styles, simply different.
Seems like people will try just about anything to lose weight these days. But nothing works better than proper dieting and exercise. So if you're guilty of eating the wrong foods, not finding time to exercise, or can't afford a gym, join Safe TV Channel 2 for Body and Spirit. Aerobics workout with Dick Nunez.
Hello, I'm Dick Nunez. Welcome to Body and Spirit Aerobics.
Weekday mornings from 7 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. Don't hesitate. Act now, because your greatest wealth is your health.
In news from the region now, in Trinidad and Tobago, soca artiste Destra Garcia has been ordered to pay almost 51,000 Trinidadian dollars after failing to respond to a lawsuit issued against her in Belize. She was sued by Fernando Olivia in relation to an incident in September 2015. Garcia allegedly burst his bladder after inviting him on stage and jumping on his groin area. C News has more.
Soca artiste Destra Garcia has been ordered to pay 16,577 in Belizean dollars, or TT $55,900, after failing to respond to a lawsuit issued against her in Belize. The soca artiste was sued by Belize national Fernando Oliva in relation to an incident in September 2015. Oliver claimed that Garcia burst his bladder after inviting him on stage and jumping on his groin area. The man reportedly suffered the injury at this point and had to seek medical treatment. He sued the Queen of Bacchanal, claiming damages for medical fees, loss of wages due to his failure to attend work for 2 months, as well as personal injury, pain and suffering. The Belize court ruled in favor of Mr. Oliver after Garcia failed to provide a defense after being given official notice. C News was informed by a local lawyer involved in the case that the soca artiste was indeed served in May and provided a document stating that Destra was served at her El Dorado home on May 4th. C News was unable to get a response from Destra or her management team on the incident. Destra boarded a plane in Miami early this morning and headed to the U.S. Virgin Islands, where she is set to perform at St. John's Carnival.
And internationally, widespread flooding across southern China has left at least 56 dead and caused about $4 billion worth of damage. 11 days of heavy rain wiped out crops, damaged fish farms, and forced the largest hydropower plant to slash capacity. Al Jazeera's Florence Louis reports.
The Xiang River has burst its banks, partially submerging a park in Changsha City. The water level here has reached its highest since record-keeping began, surpassing that recorded during China's devastating flood in 1998. Wang Weihong is inspecting his office for the first time since it was flooded over the weekend.
The water is still about 1 meter high. Everything's been damaged. Electronic appliances and the furniture.
He estimates the damage will cost him at least $30,000. By the riverbank, soldiers and volunteers keep up around-the-clock monitoring service.
The water flowed through 3 times. Despite the sandbags, but together with the soldiers, we managed to stop the flow.
They've been working here for 4 days and expect to stay for at least another 4.
The water has receded slightly, but it's still above the danger level. These sandbags are here to prevent flooding in downtown Changsha. The Xiang River is one of more than 60 in southern China to have risen above warning levels.
As many as 11 million people in 11 provinces have been affected. 1 million people have had to leave their homes as floodwaters inundate homes and buildings. Crops and farmlands have been damaged. The total economic losses so far are estimated to be nearly $4 billion. And with the rainy season set to last till August, the worst of this year's floods may not be over. Florence Lui, Al Jazeera, Changsha, Hunan Province, China.
And now for the weather report. And that's Channel 2 Headline News for this Wednesday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to find Channel 2 Headline News on Facebook, YouTube, and safetvguyana.com. You can also tune in tomorrow morning at 6:30 for a rebroadcast, and Thursday evening at 7 o'clock for more news. For now, I'm George Gonzalez, signing out from this newscast, saying thank you for welcoming us into your homes, and do have a blessed evening.